Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to the Operation Hill 100 Hearts channel where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot motherfreaking topics. I know, y'all cursing me out, telling me, Deja, do away with these balloons, do away with these balloons, do away with these balloons. Look, the zero is falling down, but I will do no such motherfreaking thing because if I'm not mistaken, we are maybe 2 or 3 videos away. 2 or 3 videos away from the 100th Dear Deja. But you know what? I might just go on and hang it up and and buy me a different 100. We'll see. Different color, make it cute and make it pop. We'll see. Leave me alone. Anywho, hey all my subbies. If you just scrolling by and seeing my page, make sure you hit the subscribe button. You're going to love the commentary here. You're going to love my personality. You're going to love me, right? Also, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Y'all be watching the video and I appreciate that. Even sometimes you don't subscribe. I don't appreciate that because I would like for you to, but I can't make you. But the least you could do is go on and hit the thumbs up on my video. That's your free way of supporting my channel, getting me out in the algorithm and making me lit. I'm on a road to 100,000 subscribers. What's up? Y'all with me? Come on. So I need them likes to get out there in that algorithm. Now, if you are tuned into this segment of my channel, then you are tuned into Dear Deja. Dear Deja is a segment of my channel that I put together because in my personal business that I run, the Operation Hill 100 Hearts, people will come for one-on-one sessions so we can get some counseling and some training and some therapy to move forward in life. But sometimes some people are a little shy to do so, but they still know that they need it. So they decide to write me letters about their situation and I give them feedback through what they've submitted to me. Again, this is just a little bit of feedback off of what I'm hearing in the letter. This is not the grand scheme of it all. What I do love is that folks will come in and get their healing heart sessions so they can get the full experience of Operation Heal 100 Hearts. And for the folks that have done so, for the ones who have written their letters, for the ones who've come for their one-on-one sessions, and also if you've done both, thank you and I appreciate you. Let's get started on this Dear Deja letter. Dear Deja, so a couple of years back when your boy ran into his biggest bag and blessing and BBLs were a thing, now all the bitches have them. I got my lady one. Ooh, the shade. She always had a cute little frame. All she was missing was the bubble. So your boy got that taken care of. While we were balling out of control, living wild, young and free, I saw she put on a few pounds. So she decided to get some lipo. During the pandemic, she became a content creator and talked about being on camera so often. So she said she felt like she needed some Botox. I was not for that, but I ain't telling no bro how to spend their money, so I stayed quiet and she got it. Now she wants some new tits, some new teeth, and all of this other superficial shit that makes me feel like none of that will make her happy. And more importantly, none of it will keep me around because I'm at a point where I'm more concerned with her mental health than I am about how perfect she looks. I'm getting turned off with this IG model bullshit and I'm considering just breaking this shit off. You think I'm tripping? Holla at me. Sign, not the woman of my dreams, just a woman with low self-esteem. Ooh, child. Okay. Okay. Let's run it. Number one on the list, you said something about the pandemic, right? Which means that you and your lady should have, if I'm not mistaken, if not 4 years together, at least almost, because the pandemic is more than 4 years old now, right? So, I mean, that's a significant amount of time to get to know a person. So if you have known your lady for the past 4 years or more, because you guys may have known each other prior to, you would know more about her self-esteem than anything with or without the surgeries, right? So let's just say you came to me with this same situation and we were sitting in an Operation Hill 100 Heart session. I will ask you to give me a list of pros and cons about your lady, right? And the reason why I would be asking you to do so is because I want to see how much you know this woman or how much you feel you think you know this woman. Right? And once you gave me your list of pros and cons, I would have to ask, first of all, do the pros outweigh the cons? Because now we're talking about ending a relationship. You said that, you feel like this might be all a wash and you don't have time for that, so you're thinking about ending it. So because you're thinking about such a drastic decision, because that's a tad bit extreme, unless there's some factors out the relationship you're leaving out, that's a tad bit extreme. So I would have to ask, do the pros outweigh the cons? Because if not, and you just want to let your lady go, hey, there's nothing nobody could do about that. But if the pros outweigh the cons, then we would have to work on some of those pros so they can keep you positive and help you want to stay in this relationship if that's something that you want to do. Right? First of all, I would have a solid conversation with my woman, right? So if I was you, I would say, listen, we need to talk. Because what I see in a lot of relationships is folks avoid difficult conversations. And it's because a lot of people don't know how to communicate, or they communicate poorly. So most times communication, if it's not the best thing in the world that we're talking about, it can lead to an argument, right? Because either you don't know how to communicate or you communicate poorly. So what couples do is we have a grand old time, we have a blast, we talk about everything that's perfect, we party, we drink, we smoke, we fuck, and we don't worry about real life most times, because that requires us to have difficult conversations, and I don't want to have some difficult or uncomfortable conversations because A, me or you don't know how to communicate, or we communicate poorly. Okay, so I think it's time to sit down with the woman that you've been with about maybe 4 years or so and say, listen, we need to have a conversation. Now, once again, when approaching uncomfortable conversations, and one being, this could be uncomfortable because I'm asking and telling you something about you that's not perfect, right? And sometimes when you have to confront people about things that are not good, you don't get... you don't always get the best version of themselves. Sometimes you get the worst version of them, right? And for me, it's always contingent upon the delivery. So let's run it from the beginning, all the way back. You sit her down. Hey, boo, let's talk. Explain to me again one of the reasons you wanted to get a BBL, because a BBL was the first surgery that you said she got. Now, I want to go a little deeper in this conversation because I'm very familiar with surgical procedures. I'm very familiar with self-esteem, and I'm very familiar with being in a relationship, right? I'm familiar with all three of those things, so I think I can help in this area tremendously. Number one on the list, let's go back to the conversation regarding why she wanted to get the first surgery initially. A lot of times I've seen this. Again, I have had friends who have had BBLs. I've had my own. I haven't particularly seen this in my friends or myself, but I've seen it in people who I'm friendly with, right? You're dating a person, right? And a person is alluding to the fact that they think your body could look better if you did or if you had, right? And because you value that person's opinion, they can sway you in a direction of doing something that they want you to do. And the reason why I bring that up is because in your letter, you said she always had a cute little frame. She just was missing the bubble. Now, I want to know if she felt like she was missing a bubble or if you felt like she was missing a bubble. Because if that initial surgery came about because of something you suggested or something that you felt, then yes, we are dealing with a self-esteem issue. Right? But we cannot rule out the fact that you are a willing participant in why she might have some of those issues. Because if you are her significant other and you're saying to her, well, you got a cute little body, but that whole but, anything behind that is going to be more valuable than anything you said before it. And if your butt was, oh, when you missing that little bubble, then of course she's going to want to do something if she has self-esteem issues of her own to make you happy because you're her spouse. So that would be my first line of questioning. Whose idea was the BBLs? Right? Because I know I have a friend who I went with to get her procedure back in 2017, and that procedure for her had nothing to do with anybody else but her. You know? So I know in that situation, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to get more men, or the man I'm with going to want me more. It was about, no, this is something that I'm self-conscious about and I want to work on it. Right? So I wonder, was that what she was thinking? Or was she going off of some of the energy that you may have projected, which was, oh, you always had a cute little frame, you're just missing the bubble. I also say that because you mentioned something about the IG model era, and I feel like that's what we're in. So I don't know if either A, that was her idea because that's the road she wanted to go in, or if to some degree you participated in that level of thinking. But anywho, let's continue, right? So now you telling me that okay, she wanted to get a BBL. All right, fine. Then you said she put on some weight so that she wanted to, I'm guessing, go back and get some lipo because you. Well, now let me figure this out because BBL. Okay, let me see what I think you saying. BBLs is lipo included. So is what you saying that after she got the original BBL, which includes the lipo, she went back to get a second round of lipo because she put on some weight? Because if that's what you're saying, here we go with the line of questioning again. Was it, oh babe, it looked like you getting fat. I know how you could tighten some of those areas up. Or was it, I feel like I'm putting on weight and I might need to go and do something about this, right? And the reason why I'm asking that is also because if she had went and got a BBL and she always had a cute little frame, I could imagine that she didn't get too out of shape when she put in a little weight, but she may have wanted to go back to looking perfect. There's ways to do that without surgery, especially with a person who has a frame that's already good to work with. There's ways to do that without surgery. So if she was saying that, oh, I'm putting on a little weight, or you were saying it, whoever said it, why wasn't the suggestion, hey, let's join the gym together, or hey, let me pay for you a gym membership? Like, where was that conversation before we got to let me just lay down on the table and go under the knife, right? Okay, no problem. Let's move on to the next thing. The next thing you said, I think you said was, she said she wanted some Botox, right? Let's have a conversation about her feelings regarding her physique, period. Now, what I know about what's happening in this day and age, right, is we're all sitting on our phones and our laptops and we're watching everybody else's lives, right? Nobody's not going to lie and tell me in this day and age, oh, I don't have IG, oh, I don't have TikTok. You're lying. You have at least Snapchat. You have at least one of the social medias. I know people would like to portray, oh, no, I only go on it for business. No, you see other people's lives though, right? With women, from what I hear, I don't know about photoshopping pictures because I don't do it, but I do hear that, you know, women can Photoshop the picture to where, okay, you got a slim waist, but then you Photoshop it till your waist looks invisible and things like that. A lot of women are struggling with seeing other women look perfect, right? And I can also understand how that may create self-esteem issues, right? But I think it also creates a larger self-esteem issue with a woman who already has some self-esteem issues, and then they have a man who is also helping to impose them thoughts on them. Right, so my line of questioning would be to you, because we are in an Operation Hill 100 Heart session with you and not with her, is where does your support lie in this whole issue of her having self-esteem issues? You see what I mean? So, case in point, I'll give an example. I have been on my weight loss journey literally since 2010. This started for me in 2010. It started for me at Lucille Roberts. Shout out Rashonda. Shout out Lucille Roberts. Oh, my family, Jamal. I love all of them, right? But my journey started in 2010. I have had numerous different phases on my journey, but that's when it started. When I got in a serious relationship, it was 2016. By that time, I had already had one of my first surgical procedures. But I made it clear when my significant other walked in the door that I come from a family of obesity, and my issue is I don't want to die because I'm unhealthy. So for me, I'm very sensitive about health, and if you're going to be in my life, I need your support, right? That helped navigate our relationship perfectly, because even up until this day, we still have major conversations about health. We still come up with plans together. We still meet goals. We still complete tasks health-wise, because he knows how important that is to me. He's not sitting around saying to me, yo, that back roll, it look like it got bigger. What you gonna do, bro? You know what I'm saying? He's not allowing me to sit there and look on social media and scroll and scroll and scroll and feel like, oh, everybody looks like a Kardashian, and then tell him, you know what, I'm going to lay on the table right now. No, he's supporting me in another direction. Now, granted, let me say this. You cannot save or change a person. So if she has self-esteem issues, it's going to take her doing her own self-work for you guys to partner together well. The only reason why I'm asking you this lining of question, the only reason why I'm asking you this line of questions, because I want to make sure that her self-esteem issues don't also come from having a spouse like you. And that's not to offend you, my dear. I'm really, really not trying to, but sometimes people can contribute to issues that other people have, even if they do it unintentionally. So while I do understand that, you care for the girl, I want to make sure that you're supporting her. Because from what it sounds like in your letter, it sounds like, and this is just, again, what I got from the letter. It sounds like, yeah, I wanted her to tighten up and look cute, but now she's doing too much. For you. For you. I'm doing too much for you. Now it's not too much for me because I'm already far gone. I got on this journey and in this space because of you. And again, this is not fact and law. I'm only speaking about the teeny portion of your relationship that you gave me in the letter. If we were sitting face to face in a healing heart session, I would be able to get more, receive more, absorb more, and be able to assist more because you're giving me more. I'm just speaking off of what I got from the letter, right? And what it sounds like to me is that you do feel like she's doing too much and being superficial because it's too much for you. At that time when you were suggesting if you did that she get a BBL, maybe that was too much for her. And in those moments, instead of having some realistic conversation about her being able to correct that on her own, or at least trying to, like, saying, listen, let's join the gym together. Let's tighten up on these areas. Or asking, is your body fine by you? Because that's another thing. People get into these relationships and they date people who is, how can I say this? It says a lot about your self-esteem when you settle for people or things or places or situations that don't really satisfy you. Right? So let's bring this back to you. Is your girl your type? Is your girl the type of girl that if you saw her in the street, minus the Botox, minus the BBL, minus the lipo, all of that to the side, if you saw your girl in the street, just off plain physical, is she your type? Or if you got to know your girl, aside from anything that has to do with her aesthetic, is she your type? Because it's one thing to like a person. It's another thing to lust for a person. It's another thing to love a person. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to do all three. I've always prayed that the man I ended up with could do all three for me. And I knew for damn sure that I was going to be with somebody who did all three for me. You know why? Because if not, I would be constantly doing things to try to change that person. And in the end, we wouldn't work out because I'm just trying to make you into who I desire instead of loving you for who you are. Right? And that's why I asked that. Because if having to suggest that your girl get a BBL or lipo or new tits, new teeth, or any of these things to make her your type or to make her desirable to you or to make her look better or for you to feel better about her being your woman, if any of those things are a requirement for you, then are you in a relationship with the person that suits you? And if you are not, my dear, that says a lot about your self-esteem. Because if you notice you desire something else or someone else, then maybe you should go and get that. Unless you don't feel that you're worthy. And I know this sounds crazy. I know you looking at me right now like, Deja, I just told you all the shit that this bitch did. You want to flip it on me? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Because guess what? This is your Dear Deja letter. So this is your Operation Hill 100 Heart session. So it is about you. So let me say this, right? Is your girl the woman of your dreams? And I don't mean the woman of your dreams with all of the nips and tucks and dips. No, I mean a woman of your dreams, period. Without all the superficial things. Now, do I think you should leave your woman because of the changes that she's making? I think you should have a conversation with your woman about the changes she's making so you can understand her mindset regarding these changes. She may come flat out and tell you, I'm doing this because I thought this is what you wanted. That's another conversation y'all can have. No, I don't want that, right? I want you. I don't want those things. Or she can say, listen, I don't give a fuck what nobody thinks. This is what makes me happy. So then you know what type of woman you're dealing with. And then you get to decide if this is something you want to continue with or you need to move forward. And from the sound of it, it sounds like you're saying you feel, once again, like she has low self-esteem, and it has nothing to do with how she looks. You're just getting annoyed because her self-esteem is not high enough to value herself to want to stay who she is. And that's something that's a turn off for you. So then y'all can have that conversation. You can say to her, listen, if you thinking that tits, ass, and teeth is going to make you more desirable as a person or a better person in general, that's not the truth. That's not the truth. And if that's not something that you can grasp and handle and actually believe in your heart of hearts, then your issue is bigger than our relationship. Your internal issues and your struggles mean that you need some therapy. And I, as your man, I can't provide that to you. I can support you while you grow through it. I just can't provide it to you. And then you going on and give her my information. And then she come get her healing heart session. Right? I have done a number of transformations. Even within the last couple of months, I've gotten my gap closed. I've had 3 surgical procedures that I'm damn proud of. I've done a number of things. I came home and told my man, this is what I'm doing. And you know what was a lot of questioning to me? Listen, Khadijah, I'm going to love you anyway, just so off the person that you are. My only concern is that one of the reasons I love you is because how optimistic and joyful and happy that you are. That's why I love you. If any of these things you telling me that you're gonna do is going to take away from that person, I'm not gonna support it. But if getting you a big ass, getting you a flatter stomach, closing your gap, and anything else, fucking arching your brows or filling them in, or if any of those things are going to keep you happy, joyful, and the optimistic Khadijah that I fell in love with, I'm on board. Where do I sign and how much money do I have to give? But because I love you for who you are on the inside and none of that other bullshit, if any of that is going to be stripped away by all of these things that you're doing, then I'm not going to support it. And I had to respect that response. You know why? For 2 reasons. Number 1, because that means you care about the woman that I am. And I am this woman and damn proud of her. So I'm happy that you care about that woman. I'm happy that you love that woman. Because no matter if I'm 300 pounds or I'm 150 pounds, no matter if I got an ass or a long back, I'm going to always be that woman. And if you fell in love with all of the superficial things that I'm not, then are you really in love with me? Right? So this is a deeper conversation. What I will say is, you didn't give me in a letter any other examples or any other reasoning to believe that you should leave your lady. It's not like you said, oh, Deidre, we've been rocky because she did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now this. You only gave me this, which leads me to believe that you guys may have something solid. And what I feel about relationships that have some solid ground is you have a blueprint to work from. Don't give up on that. Yeah, you do meet crossroads with your spouse, and sometimes it gets hard and sometimes there's a fork in the road and y'all look like y'all going in opposite directions. But if the only thing that's happening now is a vanity issue and something that you guys could actually further your relationship and have deep conversations about, instead of being so quick to end it, how about you try to make the relationship grow by having a deeper conversation about what's happening in the moment. And if you need me to help lead or guide the conversation, facilitate the conversation, or even sit there while y'all have the conversation, Operation Heal 100 Hearts freaking magic would definitely love to do so. Because I don't want to see you lose your woman over something that your relationship could possibly blossom and grow in. All right, my dear. So, ciao. There is some work to be done, but what I always tell you, it's doable. It's doable. And the fact that you wrote this letter lets me know that you want to do it. Because what I could have been looking at is y'all just broken up, right? So listen, fight. Fight if you can and if you need to and if you want to, right? And in any event, if the fight gets tedious, come get your healing heart session. I'm here. I got your back. I got your lady back. I want to see y'all in love, right? And if y'all can't be, I want y'all to be able to split amicably and be able to still love one another, even separately. All right, my dear. So I hope I was able to help. I honestly hope I was able to help. I hope this provided, some sound advice that you could work from. Ladies and gentlemen, drop down in the comment section and let me know, Deidre, you bugging. Deidre, you're tripping. Or, Deidre, that was great advice. Or, I hear you, Deidre, but I got a few more things I can add. Let me know, because these letter writers like to hear from other folks as well. They will hit me back and be like, I appreciate what you said. Also, the girl in the comments that said blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? People, they love it. They love it. So if you have feedback, drop down and leave it. What I always tell you guys, there's only one rule here. No disrespect. Anything is up for discussion as long as the discussion is not disrespectful. I do not delete and I do not debate. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please don't forget the thumbs up. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Check out all of my Dear Deidre letters. I'm on the road to the 100th one in about 2-3 more Dear Deidres, and I appreciate your support. You guys enjoy your day.